Where convergent validity helps you be more confident that you're actually measuring what you intend to measure, predictive or criterion validity helps you know that the assessment can actually be used to predict behavior, performance, and/or outcomes. Again, there is more detail than we have time to go into in a brief webinar, so I would encourage you to dig into the tech manual if you are interested in some of the other validation work we have done. That being said, let's touch briefly on a few evidences of predictive/criterion validity. We conducted a study to see if people would make ethical decisions when faced with tricky ethical conundrums. We found that drivers like wisdom, meaning, and persistence were most strongly related to people's tendency to make ethical decisions. In fact, we found that the drive alone could predict 12% of the variance in ethical decisions, which is very strong. We also found similar drivers, plus drivers like inclusion and charisma, were strongly related to performance ratings in a team context. Over 10% of the variance in performance ratings were explained by drive scores. Finally, we see a variety of differences in career outcomes related to individuals' drivers. For example, impact, collaboration, and creativity predicted a whopping 26% of the variance in participants' organizational level. In other words, the higher you are in impact, collaboration, and creativity, the more likely you are to ascend to the highest levels of the organization. Let's take a moment to briefly recap what we've learned in this webinar. First, we touched on the unique way the drive looks at personality. We integrate a number of different theories of motivation, values, identity, goal orientation, and more, to come up with a unique way of looking at personality and predicting behavior. The drive goes beyond the circular logic of some assessments and gets to the underlying motives and values behind behavior. This do, want, should approach helps us understand not just what people are likely to do, but why they are likely to do it too. Finally, we shared some of our research around the reliability and validity of the tool, and how these important statistics are just as good, if not better, than many of the great assessment tools that are already out there. Thanks for working your way through this webinar. We look forward to seeing you in person at part 2 of the certification.